Hello and welcome to the American Dreamer Show. I'm Bill Sefakar with my amazing crew here, James Worley, and the man with the mic and the headset, John Casimiro. That sounds really like something out of Shakespeare, you know?
Casimiro?
Yeah, Montague and Capitillo and whatever. Anyway, so...
maybe it was.
We'll check. Do your... What are those?
My genealogy says that the Casimiros go way back.
Yeah. Romeo and Juliet. Anyway, we like to banter around, as you've noticed, and this gives us a chance to do it. And we're live and here in Tampa Bay, and we have the studio that's been a real godsend. And I'm very happy to be able to schmooze with you all. And we're going to be going places in song or words or deeds and stuff, and we'll see what happens. This is show number 14, and actually the third show for 2019.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you, Bill. I didn't think we ever make it this far.
I'm going to be kind of honest
I
with you.
thought Spreaker would have canceled us by now.
Well, we haven't said anything off color. Tonight might be the night.
No, this is very much a G-rated show. It's for all listeners.
How come they don't say F-rated?
Well, if it was F-rated,
no, but that would be family. You know, what is G-rated?
No,
General
the
audience?
that's a double entendre.
Oh, let's not do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be off the air tomorrow. So anyway, we've had fun with warm-ups. We had James doing our warm-ups like 3 times. And
yeah, I'm confused.
Well,
I think we're actually on the air now on Spreaker.
Yes, and we've been at this for 4 months in the Spreaker community family, and
we're gonna have to branch out soon.
We are going to do that.
Well, besides YouTube,
yes,
in the podcast world.
Yes, because I've been playing my guitar and I've been practicing. I went over to the Oldsmore Park on the water, Tampa, North Tampa Bay, and everybody. I sit on a bench and I play my guitar, and people come over, the families, and
Really, when was this?
I go there all the time. This was Sunday. No, Saturday, because that was before the weather turned, I think it was. And it was really cute. I'm bringing my guitar case and a young family, and they're with the boy. He was maybe about 9 or 10. And the father says, what's in, is there a machine gun in that guitar case? I said, no, it's a violin or tuba. And I was playing, and they came over, and they take a camera. It's really interesting.
Really? What were you playing?
I was playing some Al Stewart, Timeless Skies, and Little John Denver.
You're the Cat?
No,
whenever you say an artist, and I say
that's
the
what
name,
you identify.
Yeah, and then you have something I've never heard of.
Because I like to delve into the essence of these.
Bill's deep tracks.
Yes, Timeless Skies. While traveling northwards on a backcountry lane, I came on the village where first I grew, and stopped to climb up the hill once again, looking down from the tracks where the great slate roofs. These are things.
See, I don't know that song.
No, but I played it. This was on one of our 3rd or 4th songs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tells you how much I pay attention.
Well, because John...
It was so long ago.
No, yes. We've played over 25 songs. 14 songs at two songs of pop. So we're into it.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I wanted to go into some of the more detail and earth-shattering songs. But
now, spoiler alert, one of the songs that we're playing today is actually a popular song. But go ahead, but we won't
no?
We're not going to tell them what it is yet, right? Or do we want to tease it?
It's a Jimmy Buffett.
It's a Jimmy Buffett song.
And we did a Jimmy Buffett already.
Right.
So, this is why we like to branch out. I really wish I could do a real dynamite one, practice a little bit, get it right with the vocals and audio, like looking up there while, everything is going smoothly. Like
we did that out in the backyard.
Well, we did it. Maybe we should insert. That's what I'm saying. How about if inserting that, James? We can insert.
He wants a whole concert now.
They can find that on your YouTube channel.
All right. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wants a whole concert now.
Okay. Well, last week we went live with YouTube, and I really felt a new splurge of energy going through me. Did you hear that? Did I?
Splurge.
That is an onomatopoeia. Did you know that?
Onomatopoeia. That's like when you're not sure what's going to come out.
No. That's also something else. I'll have to figure that word out. But no, when the word sounds like it, almost you can like ba-boom, a splurge. So it sounds almost like you can interpret what that word is.
See this confused look?
That's what word?
On YouTube, you can see this confused look.
Maybe there's a word that gives you that.
Sniglet.
A word that looks like you're confused.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to take the show to different places. I'm going to be maybe performing at some restaurants or coffee houses, and
well, let me know how that turns out.
You're going to be there because we're going to take the American Dreamer show on the road, and maybe the museum.
Did you check with our engineering department about this?
Well, money talks, and if he gets a good $sign in his eyes, then maybe we can follow anywhere that they're going to be $signs. But like Performing Arts Center, the Ruth Eckerd Hall. My dad was.
You're going to play Ruth Eckerd Hall.
Well, they have different rooms, not the stage, the big stage.
Why don't you try for the Capitol Theater first?
Capitol Theater is one of them on our venue. And how about, here's another plug, Kilos, Kava.
We were just there last night.
Oh, God,
we were checking it out. We were scoping it out. We were doing a site survey.
Because that's what I'm going to do for the open mic, Kilos, Kava, and T-Bar.
Yeah, it's a perfect place. Nobody's ever there.
Well, we're going to round up some people. How much do you think it would cost me to get some 30, 40 people off the street?
You have to buy them something. They don't sell alcohol there, so you just be buying them
kava tea.
Kava tea. And
we'll bring a little miniatures on the side. We'll sort of
put up a sign, free Creighton. That'll get people in. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now that we've pursued this for enough time, then we have, gosh darn, James is wanting to get onto the entertainment portion of our show. It's Kenny Loggins. It's a classic. Everybody loves. He's.
I'm all right.
I put a CD on in my car, and I was listening to Kenny Loggins. He is so amazing. For the last 2 years, for Earth Day, on my blog post, my newsletter, he has Convictions of the Heart. I put it on there with Al Gore. That was the banner for Earth Day, Convictions of the Heart. And I play that, and I think he even thanked me because I saw something that he picked up on that on the YouTube and the blog post. But anyway, there's so many songs that I just love to play. And as I said, if I had the wherewithal, you guys will give me a chance to record it.
You remember last week we were talking about how to get a song out of your head? You play Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah.
Well, what happens when you have Eye of the Tiger stuck in your head?
I don't know. You get three eyes.
You play Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins, and it gets rid of Eye of the Tiger.
Okay. Well, right now,
of course, then you're stuck with Danger Zone.
We're going to go with Kenny Loggins. It's one of my favorite songs, and it really is the kind of song that it's a feel-good song. People are starting out or whatever, middle, or any time in your life that you want to think about someone that has a positive impact on you, and make sure to keep that person close at hand. You don't want to lose that person. And so this is a Kenny Loggins, Danny song. And thank you, Sir James. I'm going to get that out of the way. That'll do it. But don't go too far with that. Danny song. People smile and tell me. I think we're a little hot on that. Okay. People smile and tell me I'm the lucky one. And we've just begun. Think I'm gonna have a son. He will be like she and me, free as a dove, conceived in love. Sun is gonna shine above. And even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey, and everything will bring a chain of love. And in the morning when I rise, bring a tear of joy to my eyes and tell me everything is gonna be all right. Seems as though a month ago I was Beta Chi, never got high. Oh, I was a sorry guy. Now a smile, a face, a girl that shares my name, and I'm through with the game. This boy will never be the same. And even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey, and everything will bring a chain of love. And in the morning when I rise, you bring a tear of joy to my eyes and tell me everything is gonna be all right. Pisces Virgo rising is a very good sign, strong and kind, and the little boy is mine. Now I see a family where there once was none. Now we've just begun. Yeah, we're gonna fly to the sun. And even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey. Everything in the morning when I rise, you bring a tear of joy to my eyes and tell me everything is gonna be all right. Love the girl who holds the world in a paper cup. Drink it up. Love her and she'll bring you love. And if you find she helps your mind, buddy, take her home. Don't you live alone. Try to earn what love is on. Love the girl who holds the world in a paper cup. Drink it up. Love her and she'll bring you love. If you find she helps your mind, buddy, take her home. Don't you live alone. Try to earn what love is own. And even though ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey. And in the morning when I rise, bring a tear of joy to my eyes. Boy, there was a lot of static. Did we have electric storm during that song?
I believe it was the audience. I don't believe heard that. I think it was just in our headphones, headphone error.
Well, right now.
So pretend that didn't happen.
Right now, I feel like I took one of those, those cloths that the hair stands up on it. What do they call it?
Static, yeah.
Static, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we got through a very nice song that I like, Kenny Loggins of the Max. He's one of my top 5.
We know who the top 1 is.
Yeah, John Denver. And Kenny Loggins is probably number 2. Paul Simon.
Paul Simon's up there.
And Jimmy Buffett, which we're going to do a little later. And thank you, Sir James. And so this is a part 2, second part of our, like a 3-part, a triumvirate kind of thing. And I needed to take that before, but that's okay.
What's that, your tea? You drinking your tea there?
It lubricates my larynx.
It's good for lubrication, yeah.
Okay. So we're into the inspirational mode.
Oh, inspirational mode, yeah. That's always fun.
I know, and you're going to be part of it. Remember, I wanted you to share. This quote, I think we might have used this before, by Eleanor Roosevelt, which talks to dreams and stuff. It says, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." That sets it apart. It's not
right.
just, whatever. And I'll tell you, there was a lot of stuff that... Did you notice been a barrage of, on Facebook and other social media, there's an interesting twist, a spin, entitled, "Intelligence is Sexy." Have you seen that floating around?
No, nobody's ever presented that to me. Maybe there's a reason for that.
Well, I'm going to present it to you. You little... Anyway, so this is some of the things. It says, here's one. It says, "The problem with the world is that the intelligent people are full of doubts, while the stupid ones are full of confidence."
Right?
That was Charles Bukowitz, Bukowsk. Always help someone. You might be the only one that does.
That's true.
That's part of this intelligent is sexy. And it's not about who is real to your face, like, right up front. It's about those who stay loyal behind your back.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
And James is loyal. I'm loyal to James. You didn't know that, James, because I'm behind his back.
Really? If somebody came along and could do the podcast cheaper, you wouldn't, switch it up? If someone came and said, "Hey, what are you paying that guy? I'll come along here."
Not only that, John, I'd move.
You'd move.
Not a chance, buddy boy. So we now have some crypto quotes, and the one that from last week I didn't fully get into. This was Eleanor Fargion, the one that produced that poem, Morning Has Broken. And I sang that was the Cat Stevens that changed the whole title of our show to Cats in the Cradle.
Right.
Wild and crazy. So this is one, and it's really a nice feel. There isn't time to do the things I want to do. With all the mountain tops to climb and all the woods to wander through and all the seas to sail upon and everywhere there is to go and all the people, every one, whose lives upon the earth to know.
Very profound.
Okay, now you're you're within hands. Could you take that off the wall and show them?
Well, now let's leave it up there.
Okay. We'll show them next time.
I'll read it.
All right.
What's the history of this?
A very dear lady friend, and very very neat woman. It's probably about 20 years ago. I've been down.
Is she
here.
listening?
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll find out, though.
Okay, so I'm going to read it.
All right, well, let's just describe it. It's a art form. How would you want to describe it, John?
Well, it's a picture on the wall of a sailboat on water.
On water, and it's very nice, and it's handwritten, and someone wrote these beautifully devised words.
And it says, never let your head hang down, never give up, and sit down and grieve. Find another way, and don't pray when it rains if you don't pray when the sun shines.
Right. Don't pray.
That's right. So in other words, yeah, it's just
it's easy to pray when you need to say, "Oh,
right.
Lord, help me, please,"
yeah,
you
right.
know?
Yeah.
But to thank
Yeah,
Spirit,
when things are going good, you got to say, "Hey, thank you."
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Right.
And thank you, John. Okay. So, John, you mentioned some items looking around. And I really haven't taken the time to go in detail, but we will. But you see that Lowenbrow and the Lancer?
Yeah.
one?
Yep.
That goes
That
back.
looks like a relic.
It is 1972. Right? Oh no! Oh yeah! And James was hiding that bottle of wine. He said the Lowenbrow, the beer you can't keep, but the wine. He was ready for that. So
tell your story about Lowenbrow, and I'll tell you my story.
Okay. In the book, because we got to revert back to American Dreamer, a look into the life of my father, Joe Baby. And I mentioned to you, and it worked for me, everything is sort of crisscrosses life, because my life was part of my dad's, and I was part of his life. So, I was telling you about in college how I was working with the University of Maryland, a community active group called People Active in Community Effort, which was really amazing because yesterday, January 15th, I think, was the birthday of Martin Luther King. We celebrated on Monday.
Okay, yep.
But his birthday was on the 15th. And remember, I was the director of this PACE group, People Active in Community Effort, and we were tutoring in inner city in Washington at the University of Maryland. And I was working at the Democratic National Committee part-time. And the night of his assassination on April 5th, I had to make a decision to go into D.C. to our place at Lincoln Heights with our 2 buses of students that were tutoring. And we decided to do it, and it was a life changer because these people meant a lot. These the college students meant a lot to these families and vice versa. And we left there about a half hour. We usually did 2 hours, but this was a special time. We could sense things, and we were watching television of all the sadness, and you bonded. Couldn't help it. But the reason why I mention it is because I worked for the Democratic National Committee in the infamous Watergate building. I was doing radio, and
doing radio how? You were on the air?
Well, no. What we did was, at that time frame, we sent out 8 tracks of all the congressmen and senators. We had all the radio stations in their district. And when everything was set up, the congressmen and senators would call in, would record this statement, or they'd send us a statement, and then we would distribute it throughout their district or state.
Actual 8-tracks like you put in your car?
Yeah, well, this was...
Are you sure
John,
there was 8-tracks?
John, 1968. Tell me, what do you think was 1968?
I don't know. I don't think there was...
It was. Believe me. We recorded it. We had these little, places that, and it would automatically dial the number. Okay? Now, the reason why I mentioned this is because I also wound up in 1968, worked on 1972, if you fast forwarded, I was working for the Democratic National Committee, and that was with the Watergate, 1972. And so I traveled with Sergeant Shriver.
Ah.
He was the vice presidential candidate under George McGovern, and Nixon and Spiro Agnew was... There it is. James is so amazing. Thank you. I wasn't lying. Actually, no, it was actually a tape. It was tape. It wasn't.
No, that's not it.
It was a recorded, the tape. You would record it. And then,
speaking of 8-track, let's stay on track
okay,
here.
On track. Good. So I actually showed this picture. This is my folks with Sergeant Shriver. He was the first director of the Peace Corps and Vista.
And that's in your book on page 175.
Right. And this is my folks, which is great because my mother's birthday was today, January 16th. And what would happen is we would travel for 6 days around the country, all the campaign stops. And the reason why it was so important was because Sergeant Shriver was married to Eunice Kennedy Shriver. She was one of the Kennedys. So with everything happening, if they wanted something happening, they wanted to cover it. So they had to send a crew out there, on a plane. We traveled all over, did 80,000 miles in 2 months.
Wow. And
we stopped off, and we'd come back on a Saturday night, got fresh clothes, and off we went on Monday. So Sunday, to get to our stops. One time we had I think it was when the Munich, you remember the
Olympics in 72, yeah.
When they were killed,
those
Israeli, and we stopped, we stayed there, and he did a special recording.
You stayed where?
You think you're so good. In Las Vegas.
Thank you. Not Munich, but you stayed in Las Vegas.
Yeah, we were in Las Vegas. We were supposed to fly home. And they said, no, we're staying here because we needed to make a statement on this. And we had to get our clothes dry cleaned in the hotel in Las Vegas. But the point is, with James, and we're going to show this next week.
So this somehow relates to the Lowenbrow bottle.
Because I had saved everything. You should see my itinerary of all the stops and the campaigns and everything. I have it in my file. Like we were talking about saving stuff. I have it saved. But those bottles, we were treated fairly good, on the campaign trail. And as I mentioned to you, even though we were the fourth rung, because, you had Nixon, they had the best, the creme de la creme. Reporters and everybody followed him around. They knew he was going to win. And then McGovern, the presidential candidate for the Democrats. So the second tier. And then the vice president, Spiro Agnew, he got a good. And so then we had our plane. But all these up-and-coming reporters and broadcasters that would make a name for themselves. You remember Bob Schieffer from CBS.
Right.
And Face the Nation.
Face the Nation.
He was on our plane, and Rosenthal, and the other one was Ron Nessen, who became, I think, Nixon's press secretary. But they were on the plane, and there's some stories between the crew, the press crew, and Secret Service, and we had our kazoos. We had the.
I'm still waiting for the punchline where the Lowenbrow came from.
Those were served.
They gave it. Okay.
So that's from 1972.
They served that on the plane.
Yeah, we were given a
and
little.
You didn't drink it.
Well, not that one. James, you picked the wrong one. You told me the beer would not hold. The wine would be okay. You want to show him the Lancer and that?
Lancer's isn't good wine, is it?
Well,
Yeah, that's like, boom.
Okay.
Looks like lotion.
it probably is. Okay.
Well, let me ask you a little bit more about that now. So, I mean,
Amazing. It was amazing.
well, it was amazing, but my God, McGovern really took a beating in that election.
I know. So
That was that not the most one-sided?
Left, yeah.
Yeah.
I think next to Dukakis.
And the ironic part about it is he was impeached, or he resigned. Really,
Yeah.
he resigned 2 years later, right after that landslide.
Well,
Everybody turned on him.
I know, but the beauty of this, I went to the Democratic Convention in '72 with the
Yeah.
with the Democratic National Committee. I had an amazing. This is not part of the script. Had an amazing event on the night of the selection for the vice president. I had my recorder and I was going around and recording.
You had your 8-track recorder?
No, it was a regular cassette recorder. So they had Thomas Eagleton, was unknown. He's a senator from Missouri. And McGovern selected him as the vice presidential candidate. Well, Bill Sefakar was out on the floor of the convention, and I recorded an interview with Thomas Eagleton. That was like, wow, did my stock go up, because that was like the only tape of him before he made any official announcement.
Right.
And he was selected to run on the ticket. But what happened was he had some electromagnetic cardiograms, and he had some mental things, and he had to test, and they said, you can't have someone that close to the presidency, a heartbeat away. And here he had these,
What? He had like metal plates?
No, neurological tests. We get like a stimulation or whatever. So he had to leave the ticket. And that's how they had a special convention in Washington at the Sheraton. And we were there, and that's when McGovern selected Sergeant Shriver to be his running mate.
Okay.
Pretty amazing story.
Very interesting.
Oh, I'm sorry I digressed.
That's okay.
No,
it's
I'm not.
Good. It's good to digress.
All right. Okay. So, where was the message?
It was all about the Lowenbrow.
Go out, have a
Do you remember,
spirit.
do you remember the commercial for Lowenbrow? Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special. The beer we'll pour must say something more somehow. Well, they better give us some money for this.
Yes.
Maybe some
everybody.
free beer at least.
Okay. All right.
Tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Well, last week when we did our taping was on the 9th, and I did the crypto quote that day, and it was really a cool one. And but I didn't do it. I always do it late at night. So it was from Oprah. It said, "Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more."
Yeah?
That was Oprah. And here, most of the most of his, oh gosh, I can't read.
I can't bail you out of this one. I can't see what you're reading.
All right, then sing, young hearts, with never a thought of sorrow. The old goes out, but the glad young year comes merrily tomorrow. And it's something about most of us never stop to consider our blessings. Rather, we spend the day only thinking about our problems. That was Bird Boney Siegel. So that was a pretty cool one. And I'll give you one more of these bad boys. Can't believe it. Sometimes, like, you can see this, James, I didn't get it right away. So I have, and I do it, if I do it in pen, it's not easy, to.
Like a word jumble.
Yeah. So, oh, this is cute. This is cute. Hey, don't try it until you like it.
There's that
Can you
confused
tell?
look again.
This is a cute one. It says, at least half of the exercise I get every day comes from jumping to conclusions. That was Bruce Dexter.
Or looking for your glasses.
Oh, stuff like that. Okay, we're going to be doing song number 2.
Oh, this is a sing along?
Oh, yes.
Now I'll only sing along on the chorus.
Okay.
Because I don't want to steal the spotlight from you.
Thank you, James. And we need to.
James might even sing too.
Okay, we got it. I mean, I know pretty much the words. We can wing it. Yeah, but yeah, you put that over that. Yeah, just in case.
Just in case. Just in case you want to look at the music.
Da 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 da. Wow,
what is this? This is Jimmy Buffett, right?
This is Jimmy Buffett.
And everybody at home can sing along because everybody knows this song.
Oh, yeah. This is such a fun song. It was about 30 years ago, a little more. And I was working, you remember Ross Perot?
Yeah.
EDS. And I was working for EDS, Electronic Data Systems. And so I had a buddy we were working on the line. So we just sang the verses, and we just had so much fun. Okay, here we go. Nibbling on sponge cake, watching the sun bake. All of those tourists, they're covered with oil. Strumming my 6-string on my back porch swing. Smell those shrimp, they're beginning to boil. Here we go, John. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. Searching for my lost shaker of soul. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's nobody's fault. I love this part. Don't know the reason. Stayed here all season with nothing to show but this brand new tattoo. It's a real beauty, a Mexican cutie. How it got here, I haven't a clue. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. Searching for my lost shaker of soul. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know, hell, it could be my fault. Blew out my flip-flop, stepped on a pop-top, cut my heel, had a cruise on back home. But there's booze in the blender, and soon it'll render that frozen concoction that helps me hang on. Here we go, John. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. Searching for my lost shaker of soul. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's my own damn fault. And we do it again. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's nobody's fault. It's your damn fault.
It's my fault.
Okay.
All right. Who's making the margaritas after the show?
We're going to go out and buy them. I'm not making them now. I don't even know if I have tequila. That's good. I love
James was a little worried we were going to run out of time, but I know the song was like 3 minutes, so I wasn't worried.
Okay, we got a couple of things. It's my mother's birthday, and we had that little thing last week about that calendar locator, so we knew what my mother was born in 1920, so next year she would have been 100. She was about 90 when she passed away up in Maryland. And it was a beautiful life. She was endeared by everyone that came in contact with her.
I remember your mom, and I remember your mom and dad hanging out together, and they were such a cute couple. They were always smiling.
Oh, God, yes.
I'm going to make you cry now.
No, you're not. 'Cause but, John, thank you. John would go to the baseball games. We had season tickets for the Rays, Tampa Bay Rays. And they would always go, and, you know, as they got older, we had the seats were in the first row, but it was like 4 rows down from when we got through the, you know, in the entranceway. And we had such a group there. Everybody loved them. And you remember Terry and Liz Hickey, you know, he would always come up with the computer program, so we had everybody had their games and what they were going. But as they got on later in life, they went to the games as much as they could. And Liz and Terry would peel the peanuts for them.
Oh, that's nice.
So they could have it.
Yeah.
And the last
Why
game...
should they have to do that extra work?
Right. And it took about almost 10 minutes for my mother to walk up the steps the last game that she went to.
Oh.
And everybody in the whole section, remember 301, row A, they all gave her a standing ovation.
When she got to the top.
And this is good. I promised you I was going to figure out everybody's... You give me what day you were born and what year. It's the perpetual calendar.
Okay. Do you think we have time for that?
No, we don't. No,
Okay.
I'm going to have to... I have to figure out the equation.
Okay.
My mother was born on Friday, January 16th, 1920. And so there's a couple of things I'm going to end these are some of the... for this week in January, some of the things...
2 minutes.
Oh, this was Martin Luther King. Take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just the first step. Just take the first step. That was Martin Luther King.
That's like put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking out the door.
That's a good way of doing it. You're going to be walking out the door as soon as we close down. True measure of a man is how he treats someone who can do him absolutely no good.
Uh-huh.
That's interesting. So that's good. That's we're getting into January. It is not until you become a mother that your judgment slowly turns to compassion and understanding. Irma Bombeck, she was a beauty. And you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, the great hockey player. Great hopes make great men. Thomas Fuller, he sold a lot of brushes, right?
Yeah.
The Fuller brush man. And Max Lucado, you change your life by changing your heart. Okay, so with that in mind, and you guys took the last part of mine.
I took nothing.
I know. All right. So this is how we're going to end the show because there's too many beautiful things that this is really pretty neato. We come with nothing. We go with nothing. But one great thing we can achieve in our beautiful life is a little remembrance in somebody's mind in a small place in someone's heart. Remember, you can dream it, you can then wish it, then see it, then seize it. Okay? And this is a teaser because I showed this on a trailer.
Trailer?
Well, remember, after last week's show, I'm just going to show this, and then we're going to be out of here. My dad, I found this in a cabinet of...
Found what? For our folks listening at home.
This is each year that the St. Petersburg Times...
Okay, like last week. Yeah.
Yeah, and this I put online because I did 1916 was when his folks arrived, 1917 he was born. And you know, in the very important years in our life and our family. But this is something we're going to share. We're going to go through 100 years in 5 minutes, all the amazing things. You guys come up with some years because we're going to be here all year.
We're going to do that next show, right?
Next show. Love you all. Be smart, be wise, be helpful, and we'll be back. Thank you for Bill Sefakar and John. and James.